For all of the good that social media can do, like connecting friends and family, I've been observing more and more the effects of raw, immediate emotion on online interactions. And I feel like it's creating a lot of divides between people that don't necessarily have to be as vast as they are. Now, I'm not talking about in-depth conversations. We all need to connect with each other, exchange ideas. I'm talking about the things that are designed simply to get a reaction. Hi, I'm Greg Chun, a voice actor, director, singer-songwriter, composer, and MediaWise ambassador. Now, why am I even jumping into this conversation? You're like, Greg, you're a random creative guy. Stay in your lane. Well, when I was an undergrad a long time ago, my major was called Symbolic Systems, and it was an interdisciplinary major that incorporated computer science, philosophy, mathematical logic, and human psychology. I've always been fascinated by human behavior, why we do the things we do, especially when so much of our behavior is so destructive. But the other reason it's relevant that I get involved in this conversation, and this is important, is because there is real evidence out there that creating art can help decrease polarization. It helps us foster empathy, explore issues from a complex set of views, and just engage more with humanity. Now, if you're an artist or creator of any kind, you could have a big impact on this challenge, and that's worth talking about. So, where can we start? If you are feeling fatigued and overwhelmed when you go online, you're not alone. It happens to all of us. It happens to me. We live in a world of lightning fast response time. Things can catch fire so fast and spread unchecked. And when you put certain scientific factors together in that cocktail and leave us to our own devices, figuratively and literally, that's the chaos you're feeling. Now, obviously, heading in a direction of increased polarization isn't doing anybody any good. And there are various theories as to why this is happening. Some people point at the tech itself, how it shapes what we see, alters our perception of reality, and even influences what it is we end up creating. Others take a step back and say this isn't just about technology. They look for patterns and connect it to bigger forces in culture and the world. Then there are folks looking at the psychology of it, how we as humans are responding to this flood of information and constant digital overwhelm. And this is the part that I find super fascinating, because you don't actually have to be an expert on everything in the internet to manage it. The fatigue, worry, and overwhelm that many of us are feeling is real, but there are some simple, tested ways to turn down the noise. So, what can you do to help protect yourself? First, brace yourself before you go online. Imagine what it is you might see and do some pre-processing, especially if there's something big going on. See a claim that something you love is being ruined or is going to be discontinued, but they don't include any actual facts on what is happening? That's likely just fear-mongering. It's an algorithm favorite that plays off of and dilutes your real concerns. Very different from expressing genuine worry. And all the random clickbait, those links are generally just phishing schemes that are looking to get your personal information by playing off of your emotions. Just reminding you of the existence of these possible scenarios means you're more prepared to handle them, and you can separate genuine concern from things that are just designed to manipulate you. And if you're aware that somebody is trying to manipulate you, you're that much more prepared to make sure it doesn't actually impact you. In the pre-internet world, if you had a disagreement with someone, you'd have to go to their house or make a phone call, and built into that process was the moment that you need to take a breath and get your thoughts in order. Now, that time in the digital world is just as important, but unfortunately, it just doesn't exist. We have to intentionally put that space in ourselves, because guess what? It's actually to the social media companies' benefit that we don't think and that we simply engage and fall victim to whatever algorithm might be out there. Now, let's think about this in practical terms. Let's say you happen upon a comment that infuriates you, you're in the middle of drafting some heated response, and your phone dies. Well, after you get your phone fired up and you've experienced a couple other things in your life, are you really going to go back and finish that comment? Does it really matter anymore? Now, if you're like, hey, Greg, this is all pretty obvious. Of course, the point is not to try and reinvent the wheel here. We all need reminders to keep from getting sucked into the online whirlpool. In a digital world that's designed to keep us engaged and forgetting about all these things, it is that mindfulness that is the equal and opposite force we need to stay grounded. It's how we reduce the mental space we dedicate to the noise and leaves more for our own thoughts and feelings. Now, I'll be back in a second video to dive into why these small changes actually work. But in the meantime, let's hear your thoughts. Leave in the comments what's one way that you've gotten sucked into the digital world. How has it affected you, and how have you dealt with it? I'm Greg Chun from MediaWise. Thanks for listening.